From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Thursday visited General Vicente Lim Elementary School in Tondo, Manila, where thousands of families displaced by the massive fire in Happy Land are currently staying. The president brought with him the cash assistance and relief goods to victims following the blaze that broke out late Saturday evening, which razed over 1,000 structures and displaced 2,184 families in the densely populated community. During the distribution, President Marcos assured residents of continued government support as they rebuild their lives after the fire. Each affected family will receive 15,000 pesos in financial aid. The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, also distributed 2,235 family food packs, hygiene and sleeping kits, while preparing 2,000 hot meals through its mobile kitchen.
Balitaan namin na yun na nga nagkaroon ng malaking sunog. Maraming nadala sa evacuation center kagaya po ninyo. Kaya kinausap ko kagad si Gatchalian ng DSWD para makapagbigay kagad nito mga relief good at saka yung cash assistance para naman kayo. Kasi ginagawa po namin yan dahil siyempre lahat kailangan ng pagkain, lahat kailangan ng gamot, lahat kailangan ng pagsisilungan. Ngunit, hindi lahat ng pamilya pareho ang pangangailangan. Meron yung may bata, may sanggol, meron yung mga matanda. Kaya iba-iba. Kaya nagbibigay po kami ng cash para meron kayong gagamitin para sa sarili ninyong pangangailangan para sa pamilya ninyo. Kaya dapat talaga pagkatapos po nito, pagka panahon na pwede na kayong bumalik sa inyong mga tahanan, ay ang gagawin po natin ay titignan po natin kung paano makatulong yung pamahalaan para sa pagpatayo ulit ng bahay o pagrehabilitasyon ng bahay, pagpaayos ng bahay. At siguro, next time, wag na kayo nagsisiga dito sa malapit sa mga bahay para hindi na maulit itong sunog na ganito. Naintindihan ko naman, wala nang paglalagyan. Pero pag-ingatan po ninyo kasi kawawa naman yung mga nasasalanta sa ganyang klaseng calamity. Kaya ingat-ingat lang po. At kahit na ganitong mangyari, asahan po ninyo, ang gobyerno ninyo nandito, binabantayan kayo, inaalalayan kayo at titiyakin namin na maaalagaan namin kayo sa lahat ng inyong pangangailangan.
That was Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Meanwhile, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Thursday visited the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD's Walang Gutom Kitchen, or WGK, in Pasay City, where he helped serve food and joined beneficiaries for a meal as part of his administration's push to end involuntary hunger. The WGK operates as a community food bank and soup kitchen, serving around 600 walk-in clients daily. It also extends assistance through the DSWD's Pag-abot program, learning activities under Tara Basa, and case management services that include assessment, intervention planning, and progress tracking for homeless families. DSWD Secretary Rex Gatchalian said the President inspected the operations to underscore his directive of making hunger eradication the agency's mission number one. The Pasay Kitchen is the first of its kind, with First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos as its first volunteer. It currently provides comprehensive biopsychosocial services, including nutritious meals, tutoring for children, and tailored support for families in crisis. According to DSWD, since its launch, the program has served 108,552 individuals and provided a total of 152,959 meals as of September 17.
Dateline Malacañang.
Malacañang on Thursday dismissed Vice President Sara Duterte's fresh criticisms of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., stressing that she appeared unaware of the administration's anti-corruption initiatives due to her frequent foreign travels. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said the public already knew the steps the president has taken to fight corruption, especially in anomalous flood control projects. In a message to reporters, Castro said the president himself initiated the probe and that they are not surprised that the vice president is unaware of this because she is often out of the country. The palace official was responding to Duterte's remarks, questioning the administration's handling of alleged corruption and for supposedly allowing Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldi Co to evade accountability. Co was among those tagged behind the flood control corruption scandal. Castro emphasized that President Marcos ordered the creation of the Independent Commission on Infrastructure, or ICI, precisely to investigate alleged irregularities in flood control projects worth billions of pesos. The commission is tasked to probe possible budget manipulation, illegal allocations, and the alleged acquisition of luxury assets abroad by some lawmakers. Castro asked what is the difference between the travel of Representative Zaldi and the Vice President, noting that lawmakers' trips fall under the jurisdiction of the Speaker of the House or Senate President, not the President, in line with the separation of powers. She also pointed out that Duterte herself had traveled abroad several times since assuming office. Duterte has been criticized for frequent foreign trips, which have drawn scrutiny from both administration and opposition lawmakers.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has signed into law Republic Act, or RA 12288, institutionalizing the career progression system for public school teachers and school leaders to ensure their professional development and career growth. The President signed the measure into law last September 12th, a copy of which was made public Tuesday. RA 12288 establishes a competency-based promotion system that allows elementary and secondary teachers to advance based on merit and qualifications. Positions from Teacher 1 to Master Teacher 1 will serve as the base of the expanded system, with promotions determined by fitness and competence in line with professional standards. The law also recognizes prior learning and teaching experience, allowing qualified educators to enter any position within the base level, subject to the qualification standards of the Civil Service Commission, or CSC, and the career stage indicators of the Teacher Education Council, or TEC. To implement the law, the CSC, Department of Education, or DepEd, Professional Regulation Commission, or PRC, and the TEC are directed to harmonize qualification standards for teaching positions across the public school system, taking into account the mandated standards-based assessment. Meanwhile, the Department of Budget and Management, or DBM, is directed to create new teaching positions, Teacher 4 to Teacher 7, Master Teacher 5 to 6, and School Principal 5 to expand promotion opportunities. The DepEd will issue guidelines for evaluating teachers and school leaders seeking promotion, including an assessment process, criteria, point system, and standards-based assessment to ensure transparency and accountability. To strengthen implementation, the TEC is tasked to align and oversee the roles of the National Educators Academy of the Philippines and the DepEd's Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development. The DepEd, CSC, PRC, and DBM, in consultation with TEC and other education stakeholders, must release the laws implementing rules and regulations within 90 days of its effectivity. The IRR will take effect 30 days after publication in a newspaper of general circulation.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. also signed into law Republic Act, or RA number 12287, institutionalizing the declaration of a state of imminent disaster to allow the government to implement anticipatory actions before a calamity strikes. Under the new law, signed September 12 and made public Tuesday, the President may declare a state of imminent disaster over villages, municipalities, cities, provinces, or regions upon the recommendation of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC. Local chief executives may likewise issue a declaration in their jurisdictions based on advice from regional DRRM councils. The declaration will be anchored on a pre-disaster risk assessment showing highly probable hazards with projected catastrophic impacts classified as severe and with at least a 3-day lead time extendable to 5 days for authorities to mobilize resources. Once declared, national and local governments may carry out anticipatory measures such as public advisories, pre-positioning of relief items, mobilization of response teams and volunteers, preemptive evacuations, and social protection for vulnerable sectors. The law also covers actions to safeguard agriculture, food supply, public health, and safety. If subsequent risk assessments show that projected impacts will not materialize, the NDRRMC or local DRRM councils shall recommend the immediate lifting of the declaration. RA 12287 also directs local government units or LGUs to integrate anticipatory measures in their local DRRM plans and funds, while the NDRRMC is mandated to issue implementing rules and guidelines within 60 days. The Philippines is one of the world's most disaster-prone countries, with an average of 20 tropical cyclones entering its area of responsibility each year, along with risks from earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and flooding.
Dateline Malacañang.
In related news, the Office of Civil Defense, or OCD, on Thursday thanked President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. for signing into law Republic Act, or RA 12287, which allows the government to declare a state of imminent disaster before a calamity. In a statement, OCD Administrator Undersecretary Harold Cabreros said, "The law's passage is a significant milestone in supporting the country's proactive approach to disaster risk reduction and management, or DRRM." Cabrero said the law establishes the institutionalization of anticipatory action within current DRRM systems. Signed on September 12, RA 12287, or the Declaration of State of Imminent Disaster Act, introduces the concept of anticipatory action, a proactive approach that allows authorities to reduce the impact of a forecasted hazard prior to its occurrence or even before its most acute effects are felt. Cabrero said the new law would allow the OCD to take proactive measures before severe disasters occur by implementing anticipatory actions based on predefined triggers. The law covers a wide range of hazards, including hydrometeorological, geological, and climatic threats such as floods, typhoons, droughts, and storm surges, events that can be modeled and predicted with sufficient lead time. Under the law, the President, upon the recommendation of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC, and in consultation with relevant government agencies, may declare a state of imminent disaster in areas seen to be affected by a significant disaster. This can apply to villages, municipalities, cities, provinces, or regions. The law also empowers local chief executives, or LCEs, to declare a state of imminent disaster in their jurisdictions through an executive order, in consultation with or upon the recommendation of their respective regional DRRM councils. The declaration will be based on a pre-disaster risk assessment, which includes a classification of the forecasted hazard as severe or its equivalent. The assessment will consider the potential effects on the population, particularly vulnerable groups, as well as key sectors such as agriculture, business, and industry. The assessment must also provide a lead time of at least 3 days, extendable to 5 days, to allow government agencies to implement anticipatory actions.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, the Regional Tripartite Wages and Productivity Board, or RTWPB Region 7, or Central Visayas, has granted an increase in the daily minimum wage of employees and monthly salaries of domestic workers in the region's cities and municipalities. In a social media post, the RTWPB 7 said it has increased the daily minimum wage of private sector workers from 501 pesos to 540 pesos for Class A areas. Those under the Class A category are the cities of Carcar, Cebu, Danao, Lapu-Lapu, Naga, Talisay, and the municipalities of Compostela, Consolacion, Cordova, Liloan, Minglanilla, and San Fernando, which comprise the expanded Metro Cebu. On the other hand, workers in the Class B category will be receiving 500 pesos from the previous 463 pesos. Class B areas are the cities of Bais, Bayawan, Bogo, Canlaon, Dumaguete, Gihulngan, Tagbilaran, Tanhay, and Toledo, and the rest of municipalities not listed under Class A. On the other hand, the RTWPB Central Visayas increased the monthly salaries of domestic workers. The order granted a uniform monthly salary of 7,000 pesos to the domestic workers in both the chartered cities and first-class municipalities, and the cities and towns in lower categories, or from 6,000 to 7,000 pesos, and from 5,000 to 7,000 respectively. The wage adjustments in the region will be effective on October 4, 2025. Both wage orders were issued on September 11 and published on September 18.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, the Philippines and Hungary reaffirmed their strong bilateral relations following the courtesy visit of Overseas Workers Welfare Administration or OWA Administrator Patricia Yvonne Kaunan to Budapest on Wednesday. In a social media post Thursday, OWA said Kaunan's meeting with Hungarian State Secretary Ilyes Boglarka focused on migrant worker support and bilateral cooperation. In a separate post, Boglarka underscored the significance of the Central European Regional Center established in Budapest in 2024 in strengthening the ties between the two nations. Since its opening, the hub has provided vital services to overseas Filipino workers or OFWs across Europe, further cementing Hungary's role as a partner in migrant welfare. Meanwhile, Kaunan also met with Philippine Ambassador to Hungary, Maria Elena Algabre, to discuss tighter coordination between OWA, the Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, and the Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA. The meeting focused on strengthening programs that safeguard the welfare of OFWs in Budapest and nearby countries. Meantime, nearly 200 OFWs attended the Alagang OWA or OWA Care, Wellness and Membership Caravan led by Kaunan in the Hungarian capital on Wednesday. During the event, OWA was able to distribute 155 e-cards and renew the membership of 113 OFWs, ensuring uninterrupted access to the agency's benefits and protection programs. OWA emphasized that the caravan was designed to make its core services more accessible to Filipinos abroad. Aside from membership processing, the caravan also highlighted OWA's wellness programs, underscoring the Philippine government's commitment to safeguarding the health and well-being of Filipinos overseas and their families.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service is live on audio streaming. Just download Evox PBS Receiver on your Google Play Store or the App Store from your Apple phone. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Just type in and search for Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our post as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.